School bus.
Back in 2009 I was a school bus driver. On part of my route I had to drive down a big hill to a stop and then of course back up the hill to leave. This little neighborhood was one way in and one way out. The speed limit on this road was 25 and I typically did 20 because there were a lot of kids in this small area and a school bus does not stop on a dime. Well, I had one mom approach me and tell me she felt I was going too fast and ask me if I would slow down. While I typically did not follow parent requests and only orders from my boss, I felt I could slow down a little more since the road made me nervous with so many kids around. Well, I slowed down to 15 and a few days later this same mom asks me if I could slow down just a little more. Seeing she personally felt I was still going too fast, I told her I was already going 15 but would gladly comply. She lived to regret it, and in a couple of ways. I let my boss know my intention of slowing down to 5 and explained the situation. He said he would support me if there were any phone calls about it. Over a few days, I slowed down to 5. So she approaches me on the 4th day and asks me why I am going so slow. She can't afford to wait as long as she has been because it has made her run late for work. I give her a big smile and say, well, you did ask me to slow down twice. So I did. I personally feel a lot better doing 5 than I did 20 or 15. So thank you so much for asking me to slow down. Please, have a splendid day. Well, later that day I get a phone call from my boss. The mom called him complaining I was causing her to run late because of how slow I was going through this neighborhood. So he asked her to explain in detail, including her requests. And then he says, well, ma'am, my driver really felt 25 was too fast, and when you requested twice she slowed down, it made her feel so much better to know a parent agreed that 25 is simply too fast, but then 20 and 15 were still not a comfort zone and 5 is just perfect. We totally appreciate when parents give such lovely and helpful requests for the safety of children. She will probably continuing going 5 for the foreseeable future. Is there anything else I can help you with? Quote. LOL. Not only was she late for work several days, she also got an earful of support for me from my boss. And he quieted her up. You have the best boss ever. Or had if you're not still doing that job. If all of us could be so lucky. Both my parents have been school bus drivers. Mom in the 80s and 90s driving my bus. Ugh. It's the worst when your mom scolds you for not sitting with a girl who invited you. What can I say? Why, introvert who didn't know the first thing about girls. And my father currently. Same route. Picking up my kids. Long story. Let's just say they like their privacy and we like ours, so it works out fine. Anyways, getting your license in the 80s was a walk in the park according to mom. When dad started after retiring, it was way different. Definitely expect professionalism, and the state test is rigorous to the point they stop the test if you fail. You can't take the rest of the text to find out what else you might need to refresh yourself on. Then it takes over a month to reschedule. And that was pre-COVID. Dad said between that and the pay, most trainees decide after the first or second try that there are far easier jobs to do for the pay and say thanks but no thanks. The kicker is our local state representative, who also used to drive bus, can't figure out why districts can't find enough drivers. You voted for the law that makes it this way. Quote. I am curious how long the hill was. The time difference between those speeds is marginal over a short distance. We have truck drivers who complain if they get the 100 km/h speed limited truck instead of the 103 km/h. Can't convince them it makes no difference over a couple of hours driving with stopping, hills. School bus drivers are professionals. Those that drive in the hills of Kentucky, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, etc., can drive in difficult conditions. Picking up students at a certain time, at a certain place can be difficult. And then a parent complains. Guaranteed she blamed you for being late to work, and didn't give her boss her involvement in the situation. Fuck that parent and good for you. Your boss is a legend. He is a very chill bro. I thought you were gonna say they got the speed limit lowered to 5 miles per hour because it was so unsafe. Going 15 lol. Your compliance at her request came to bite her in the you-know-where. Tears of joy. I bet she regretted asking you to slow down. Tears of joy. Yup, anything over 5 is too dangerous for mummy's precious little darlings. Tears of joy. Lol, awesome. Maybe a solution would be for her to leave earlier for work. Lol. Am school bus driver, can confirm parents are skull. Oh wow, you have a transcript of the call too? That's crazy.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.